Hi kids! Today I'm just going to do a little review with you from yesterday's worksheet that you did on elapsed time, where you solve story problems using the number line to find elapsed time within the hour. Today, when you complete your math assignment called Did She Miss the Bus?, you're going to need to figure out whether or not the person missed the bus in the story problems. So we're going to do a little review of what we've been working on and some of the strategies Miss Story taught you in the video that she showed you yesterday. I'm going to go over the first 4 problems of your sheet that you worked on yesterday with elapsed time. You're going to go ahead and check your answers. If you did a good job and you got them right, great. If not, go back to questions 5, 6, 7, and 8 and see if you can fix them. All right, you're going to use the same strategies on today's assignment, Did They Miss the Bus?, as you've used yesterday on your elapsed time sheet and in the video that I showed you yesterday. So let's start with number 1. All right, it says Matthew went to the store to buy a video game. He left at 4:15 and he returned home at 4:50. How long did it take Matthew to buy the video game? So in this problem, I know what time he left. I know the start time. So on my number line, I'm going to write the start time, which is 4:15. I also know the end time. That's the time he got home. So the end time I'm going to write on my number line was 4:50. The question that I need to answer was, how many minutes did it take him to buy the video game and go home? So in order to do that, I'm going to do a number of hops until I get to 4:50. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add 5 minutes to 4:15. Because I know that when I add big numbers, it's easier to add in groups of 5 and 10. So now that I'm at 4:20, I'm going to continue to add 10 minutes until I get to 4:50. So I added 10 minutes and now I have 4:30. I'm going to add 10 more minutes and now I have 4:40. And now I'm adding 10 more minutes and that brings me to 4:50. In order to find the number of minutes it took him to buy his video game from the time he left at 4:15 to the time he got back home at 4:50, I'm going to add these numbers together. So I'm going to add 5 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, and that's going to give me my answer, which is 35 minutes. And I'm going to circle my answer. It took Matthew 35 minutes to buy his video game. All right, for the next problem, I need to find out how many minutes Amy was at soccer practice. It says Amy went to her soccer practice at 10:10, so I know my start time. So I'm going to add it on my number line. I'm going to add 10:10. It says she was at practice until 10:55. How long was she at soccer practice? So I know my end time. I know she was there until 10:55. All right, so now I'm going to add the minutes until I get to 10:55. So if I am at 10:10, I'm going to add 20 minutes to get to 10:30. Because I know that 10:10 plus 20 minutes equals 10:30. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add 10 more minutes. And now I know that I'm at 10:40. I'm going to go ahead and add 10 more minutes. So now I'm at 10:50. Now I need to get to 10:55. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add 5 more minutes. because now if I add 5 minutes, I'm at 10:55. To find my answer of how long her soccer practice was, I need to go ahead and add the minutes. So I'm going to add 20 plus 10 plus 10 plus 5. 20 plus 10 is 30, plus 10 is 40, plus 5 is 45. I know that Amy was at soccer practice. I know that she was at soccer practice for 45 minutes. All right, so now I'm going to try some different kinds of problems. Miss Story did tell you that sometimes you're going to be looking for the amount of time that passes between one time and another, but sometimes you're going to be looking for the end time. So in this problem right here, it says Susan's dad started cooking lasagna at 5:02. It took 52 minutes. What time did he finish cooking? So now again, I know my start time. I know my start time is 5:02. So I'm going to add my start time, which is 5:02, onto my number line. Right. So it says that he cooked for 52 minutes. I know the number of minutes he cooked. What I don't know is my end time. That's what I'm trying to find out. So I'm going to add the number of minutes until I get to my end time. And that's what you're going to be doing today also. All right, so now I'm going to add the number of minutes. So here, in other problems that you're going to do today, they're going to give you the minutes, but in this problem, we need to figure it out. So I'm going to go ahead and add 10 minutes to 5:02, and that's going to get me to 5:12. I'm going to add 10 more minutes, and that gets me to 5:22. Here I'm going to add 5 more minutes, and that gets me to 5:32. So right now I have 10, 20, 30 minutes, but I need to get to 52. So I'm going to add another 10, and then another 10, because that will be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes. So if I add another 10 to 5:32, I'm going to get to 5:42. And if once I get to another one, that will be 5:52. So now I have 50 minutes, but I need to add 2 more minutes. So now I'm going to add my 2 minutes, because 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 plus 2 is 52 minutes. So I'm going to add 2 more minutes, and that gets me to 5:54. So the time that he finished the lasagna was at 5:54. That's my answer. Right. So now we're going to try one more where we're looking for the end time. So the baker put a cake in the oven at 4 o'clock. So I know my start time is 4 o'clock. Right. What I do not know is my end time, but I do know that the cake cooked for 45 minutes. All right, so now I need to go ahead and add 10, 20, 30, 40, 5 minutes to my number line. So I have 10, 20, 30, 40, plus 5 is 45 minutes. So I go from 4 o'clock and I add 10 minutes, so I'm at 4:10. I add 10 more minutes, and that's 4:20. I add 10 more minutes, I'm at 4:30. I add 10 more minutes, and I'm at 4:40. And now I add 5 minutes. And I know that the cake came out at 4:45, because that was 45 minutes after the start time, which was 4 o'clock. All right. So make sure, boys and girls, when you're working today, you're using the strategy of the number line to help you solve the problem. So you're going to know your start time. You need to add the minutes to get to your end time and figure out whether or not they missed the bus.